more and maybe try to get Buchanan out of there.
No doubt, but you know what? In terms of going 10, going 12, when you're doing it at this pace, Nick, you called this a sparring session before. That's basically what it is. It's fine. Psychologically, he knows he can go 10. He knows he can go 12. But this is not the kind of 10 or 12 he's going to see in tougher fights, obviously.
But that's why you'd like to see, can he put a power combination together and end it early? Now he's orthodox, Ward. So it's a one-way street here in the main event. All Andre Ward. Buchanan's only plus is that he's still around. Right hand to the body sinks in by Ward. Ward trying to follow with the hook. Be nice to see more of that. Tried it. Closing out the 7th here in Lemoore, California.
Time! Let's go, let's go.
Watch that mouth.
Listen. He didn't do everything he could have do.
Are you listening to me?
Yep. He threw everything he could have threw at you.
Listen
and look,
to this.
where you stand? You still standing, right?
Yeah.
Go get his ass, man.
8th round.
Time to
you
go
ready
get
to
him
fight?
now, fool.
You ready to fight?
Action from round 7. If you want to try to analyze Ward's best punch, the one that's most likely to score a knockdown, that's straight left. He is a natural lefty. Right on the point of the chin. Buchanan never been down.
Somebody in Henry Buchanan's corner effectively saying, you got the Ward right where you want him. You're still standing and you're taking his best.
I don't
That's
see
about the only badge of honor, I would say, for Henry Buchanan.
Yeah, I don't see Ward exactly collapsing from fatigue at this point. Do you?
My goodness. Andre Ward on the right. It's been all him. Steve, I don't even have to check your scorecard.
You don't want to know. You know what it is without looking.
Buchanan, a moving target, but a target nonetheless. It's cracked with an overhand right. Ward just so comfortable with that left hand as a natural southpaw. He really lands it from that southpaw stance and then just content to drill away with that jab.
Well, you ask at this point, is there any way Sugar Poo can do anything? Can he get lucky with a big shot? You know, Ward was down once against Darnell Boone. He was rocked in his, what was it, his second
Kenny
fight.
Cost,
Yeah, Kenny Cost.
club fighter.
But ever since, he hasn't had any problems. And you know, the knockdown, when you're a young kid and you get knocked down, it's not the end of the world. It happened to Pernell Whitaker, it happened to Oscar De La Hoya a couple of times. Ali, those aren't bad fighters.
Ward, a couple of right hands, body head.
So I guess my point is that you can't just assume that because of what has happened that Ward has a questionable chin. I wouldn't say that.
Oh, not at all. Nice right hand from Ward as he switches up and makes that his power hand, of course, from the orthodox stance. But those straight shots are landing. Buchanan just head movement. Waiting, shows a lot of shoulder, but no offense. He's in retreat most of the night.
Well, if you want to put a positive spin on this, from Ward's perspective, you say, yeah, what's gained? It's a glorified sparring session. What's gained is that this is a fighter who has not been busy as a pro. If he goes 12 tonight, that's 12 solid rounds. He's only gone 77 rounds in 4 years.
Good point.
He needs rounds.
He does.
And he may not be learning much from this, but he'll learn that, you know, he can be a 10 and 12 round fighter.
I think he might start pressing a little bit though for the stoppage. I mean, he hasn't been stopped in his tracks. He hasn't been discouraged in any way, Andre Ward. And there's just no threat again offensive threat from Henry Buchanan. And Steve, you mentioned he's got to land the big shot. And then, you know, I thought he had to land a big shot, a heavy shot, any chance to win it, and win the close rounds. But no round's been close, as we said.
I'll tell you what, for what it's worth, Buchanan lost to Mendy in our tournament, Nick, but Buchanan had some moments in that fight. He's had no moments in this fight.
Nothing.
Stop him up, hit him high. Let go.
Oh, a stare down. Small moral victory, I suppose.
Round number 9. Give me one more, and then we're going to step it up. Here we go.
Great. Next time you get him on the rope, slide on down to the side, to your right side and break it up.
Bring the left underneath. When you duck it down, move your feet, okay? Start coming and bringing that shot under and the right hand over. Move your feet, okay? Come on now. Keep that jab working. He's all he's doing is surviving, looking for one punch.
That's all he's looking for, one punch. Finish up.
Trust your condition.
Tighten back up when you get through.
When you got his hands up, pinpoint those shots, okay? Send some around and bring the hook in a little more, okay?
Well, Nick, I'll tell you, you mentioned it earlier, and it was reiterated in between rounds by Virgil Hunter. Their game plan, Ward's game plan, is to turn it up in round 10.
In the 10th, yeah.
And that's going to be when we see what you're looking for, which is an acceleration and perhaps a knockdown or a stop.
Yeah. Just be icing. I agree with you, Steve. I don't want to nitpick. Ward getting rounds as a pro, dominated everything. Nothing wrong with that at all. We've never known him to be a huge puncher.
Ward, all zeros when it comes to 9 rounds or more, so this is the longest fight of his pro career. Sugar Poo's been this long 3 times. Once in our tournament against Mendy.
So on paper, advantage Buchanan. On paper. Buchanan shaking it off. But he's getting wrapped to the body now. His hands are up. He can't see anything.
And Nick, seeing Ward do this and dominate this way against Sugar Poo, who's a tough guy but not a contender, it just makes you all the more want to see Ward test his skills, his focus, his chin, everything else against a legitimate top 10 guy.
Well, I do, and I want to see some gut check situations, of course, to see him advance, where he's not having everything his way. It's a wonderful showcase, but again, no adversity for Andre Ward. Hey, not his fault. He's that dominant. He's that good. Certainly against Henry Buchanan. Again, it's Major League against Double A, isn't it? Buchanan walking forward and into a solid combination. And Ward letting them come to him now. Ward batters Buchanan with a right to the body. But he's really letting Buchanan come to him. And a switch there as he tried to catch Buchanan with that left hand.
Hey, Buchanan's moving forward. Look at this.
Yeah, he's letting him do it. I mean, Ward very comfortable in letting him do it.
Ward actually had to do something he hasn't done in the previous 8 rounds, which is practice a little defense.
Well, I mean, he's let Buchanan come to him this entire round. It's like by design, I guess. Practice, you're right, Steve. Now he'll come back with a blitz. Buchanan with a world of opportunity here if he could let his hands go. I mean, at least take a shot. Ward again lining up that left hand. It's that magic number, round 10 coming up. Will Andre Ward start to close the show?
Let me tell you something. This is the 10th round. Let me tell you something. When you come in like that, moving your head, start throwing shots.
That's right, ripping to the body.
When you back him up, cut off the ring. Don't follow him. Cut the ring off. You understand me?
Watch him switching.
And watch the switch. When he switch, give me a double right.
It's coming right up underneath the gloves where he is. Let the hook go around the occupying. Bam, bring an uppercut in, okay? Yep. All right. We got round 10 here. It's time to close the show now. Let's close this show.
Wow.
You can do it.
Right on schedule. We'll see.
Well, Buchanan's not putting much pressure on Ward. Maybe Virgil Hunter is, though.
Andre Ward, they want him to set up that uppercut. They want left hook, right uppercut. Ward's going to step it up here, the pressure, it looks like. This is how he came out. And he is coming up, he's blasting, trying to close in on Henry Buchanan. That's exactly how he looked at the opening bell, Steve. Buchanan taking a few shots, trying to walk in.
Well, we'll see how Ward does against legitimate contenders. But the one thing I see in this fight, and I've seen in all his fights, that is going to serve him very well when he fights those guys, is focus. He stays so focused, so serious in that ring, and so consistent with his style.
Yeah, just